What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode here, the Side Guys Football Forum. I'm one of your co-hosts from the side, joined as always by my good friend, my good buddy, the other half of the Side Guys, Tad the Side. And Tad, I was dreading this episode. I really was.
Revenge time. It's revenge time.
You joked about it, but then as we sort of got closer to planning this episode, you just kept reinforcing that this is what was going to happen. And just, yeah, I'm very unprepared for how this is going to go. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I'll pass it to you here to sort of let the folks know as far as what is happening in today's episode.
What's happening is I'm fulfilling a lifelong dream of accomplishing a comic book trope of like the good guy turned bad. Is we had a very fun idea. What was it? It was shortly after the combine, kind of that dead period before pro days start. And, the combine ended. And so we were like, okay, we don't want to like give them too much draft analysis. So let's do a trivia show. And you were a dick about it.
Okay. I don't know. I felt that they were pretty reasonable, but I guess that could be determined based on whoever.
So I bombed. So I looked it back. I scored 34. So 34 points. And we'll explain the point system later. Point being is, and I promised at the time, I go, I'm going to make this draft focused when I host. And my God, man, this is draft focused. So our episode today is the reverse of our previous NFL trivia contest where I get to ask the questions and you get to answer them. And Godspeed, my good friend.
Yeah. As much as I do, enjoy the draft analysis, that gives me a little bit of preparation as far as the things that I'm looking up and scouting.
Oh, this year's draft has nothing to do with it.
I know, but that's the thing. So it's just like, this is just, widespread, just NFL draft knowledge. Like, I mean, I've only gotten into the draft like maybe the past 10 years or so. So it's like, if you're going anything past that, this is just going to be like, a bit of a nightmare. So I'm not anticipating me doing all that well. We'll see how it actually turns out. But I mean, yeah, this is going to be interesting. But I think just the more thing that you can be having more fun on is just make sure you're participating with our good friends, our good sponsors at Underdog Fantasy. Because I mean, maybe you'll have a better time compared to me when you bet with Underdog Fantasy. Because I mean, like I've said this so many times before, but it's like, this is a good time to be a sports fan. Yes, the March Madness has ended for both the women's and the men's tournament, but I mean, baseball is in full swing. We got a lot of great action happening there. The NBA playoffs are right around the corner. We got the playoff tournament happening next week, so you can bet on all of that. The hockey playoffs are going to be happening in just a short amount of time as well, around the same period there. NFL draft, as mentioned, is only going to be less than 2 weeks away, Tad. We are 2 weeks from the day of round one happening. So, I mean, guys, there's probably going to be some underdog bets based on that too. So, Underdog Fantasy, I mean, it's a great way to get into some fun with some betting action. All you got to do is make anywhere between 2 and 5 different prop bet picks, and it's across all the sports that I mentioned, even some more that I didn't mention. Whatever you're comfortable betting in, they got you covered there. So, you make anywhere between 2 and 5, as mentioned. The more picks you make, the more potential money you can win. And guys, Underdog wants you to bet on their platform so much that they gave us a great promo code to share with you to double up on your initial deposit. You guys use that promo code that you see on your screen. I'll say it for those of you who are listening. DESAI, DESAI. You could double up on your initial deposit. Only the first one, unfortunately. Double up on your initial deposit of $10 or more, up to $500, and they will double that money dollar for dollar. So, I mean, hypothetically, if you were put into max $500 into the Underdog platform with your initial deposit, they will match that completely, and you will bet with up to $1,000 on their betting platform. Use that promo code DESAI, DESAI. You can double up on your initial deposit of $10 or more, up to $500. I mean, guys, get into the action. It's a ton of fun. Me and Tad use it on, I 100% say weekly basis. Weekly basis for sure.
I try not to make it a daily basis thing, but it's very hard not to.
I was about to say
it's very hard not to.
Yeah, I was about to say daily, but I was like, you know what? I don't do daily either. I definitely would say weekly, though. There's usually one bet that I make per week. And just like, yeah, it's a ton of fun. Get into the action. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. So get into the action. Use that promo code as mentioned, DESAI, DESAI. Double up on your deposit of $10 or more to get $10 more up to $500. So, I mean, guys, ton of fun. Use the promo code. Start betting on Underdog Fantasy. It's a great platform, both their website as well as the apps on your mobile devices. So, get into the action because it's a ton of fun. And I think that's just the natural transition point. Let's sort of get into the
speaking of a ton of
here because I mean, yeah, this is
gonna be
fun for you. This is gonna be fun for you, but just
great.
this is gonna be rough for me.
This is gonna be fantastic.
So,
for those of you who did not tune in for our last episode, the scoring of this trivia, contest is fairly simple. For every question that Amr answers correctly, it's 1 point, except for the last estimation question. We will explain more about that when we get to it. But before we start with the actual trivia that I had to research for and everything, Amr kicked me off with a quick fire question where it's like, just, go rapid fire as many names you can come up with as possible. And for every name he gives me that is legitimate, he gets 1 point. So it's kind of a way to kind of beef up the score a little bit. So as I said before, last time I had 34s. 34 is your score to beat. This is draft focus. I did sprinkle in a couple of softballs there for you, buddy. They're 49er related. I made sure they're all 49er related. So if you
I
get
feel
them
like
wrong,
even the softball ones are like, fast pitch softball that the girls are doing. It's like I probably couldn't even hit those either. So
I will say this. How about this
goes.
for a tease? There is one, and I saved it for the very end. The last 49er softball you have, you're either gonna nail it or you're gonna completely miss it. And I am fascinated to see what it will be.
All right.
Sorry. No, I misspoke. It's the second to last 49er softball.
Whatever it is, but just like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, let's get things off. Let's get this, over faster than, quicker than we can. I mean, just like, yeah, this is let's end the nightmare.
This is legitimately the most nervous I've ever seen you on the show.
Honestly, yeah, because it's just like I'm also not prepared. Like I'm used to having
now you see how I felt.
Spoiler alert, like, I mean, for people out there who are wondering how the show works, like, I have multiple screens. It's like I usually have notes up, so I'm always ready to go with something. But here, it's like I have nothing. And so it's like I have no idea what's coming towards me. I really have no idea about the topic as well. Like, I mean, I'm very little knowledgeable. So, yeah, this is going to be different.
All right.
Let's see how it goes. Let's see.
Let's see how it goes. Let's kick it off with our quick fire. And like I said, this is heavily draft focused. So I figure what better way to start off a draft focused episode with the least drafted position in the NFL. Amr, you have 45 seconds. Name as many kickers, past or present, that you can name. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Jake Moody, Sebastian Janikowski. Are we counting punters here?
No, just kickers.
Okay, just kicker. Okay, Sebastian Janikowski, Jake Moody, Roberto Aguayo, God, this is terrible. Vinatieri, did he get drafted? I think he did.
No, they don't draft or undrafted. Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Billy Cundiff, Martin Gramatica, Bill Gramatica, Morton Anderson, Gary Anderson, Joe Nedney, Brian Coffer, let's go. Specs. What the hell's his name?
Time.
I'm like, God, that was so bad. That was
it's
so
harder
bad.
than it looks, isn't it? That was 11.
11. All right, I'll take 11 though. I got confused, I guess, by the part that I was like, should they have been drafted? So
no,
like,
yeah, sorry, I
should have done a little bit better. It's all right. That's all right. No, that's on me. That's on me. It's all good. It's all good.
But no, for those again to give you guys a little background info is so. What did you say to me? It was wide receivers last time, right?
Yeah, wide receivers, former or current,
straight up. But it's so funny because you're just like the second you hear the position, your brain overloads, and you're just like, oh my God, kickers. And it's just like, it's the most stressful thing in the world. So just be ready because that may pop up yet again. But before we get to that, let's kick it off with the actual contest now. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Godspeed, my friend. All right. First, we are starting off with the true and false question. So it's pretty simple. I give you a statement. You tell me if it's true or false. If you are correct, you get 1 point. Okay, you're currently sitting at 11. You're a third
Okay.
of the way there towards beating me. Okay.
Let's see how this goes. Yeah.
So Marvin Harrison Jr. is probably going to be taking the top 5 of this year's draft. Hard to believe if he falls out of it, even though I did see a Bears mock earlier today that had him falling to 9, which I was like, wow, living that pipe dream. I'm like, that must be wonderful. So assuming Marvin Harrison Jr. does go in the top 5, would he be the only receiver in the last 5 years to go in the top 5? So let me rephrase that. True or false, there has not been a top 5 receiver in the last 5 years.
Last 5 years.
Last 5 years.
I know Garrett Wilson was a top 10 pick. Judy fell to the middle. God, that's a good question, because for the most part, I know quarterbacks have gone number 1 overall, usually have led the very beginning parts of the draft, especially like the top couple of picks. So with those 2 other picks, like I know there's the year with Myles Garrett going number 1 overall. Maybe I'm even thinking too far back for that one. Last 5 years. Yeah.
Last 5 years. How about this for crazy? 5 years ago, so the draft I stopped at was 2019.
2019. Okay. All right. So in the past 5 years, true or false, has a wide receiver
gone in the top 5?
Has or has not?
Has gone. So has a receiver gone 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 since 2019?
I'm going to say false.
Wait. Has or has not?
Has not been drafted in the top 5. I guess that's the way I'm answering the question. So that is false. Has been drafted in the top 5. That's my answer, I guess. So however you phrase the question, I'm saying yes, in the past 5 years, a receiver has been drafted in the top 5.
Damn it! You are correct.
All right.
By one player, Jamar Chase was selected 5th overall in 2021.
Nice.
He is the only receiver to have achieved that feat to be selected in the top 5. Now, you mentioned Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, Drake London, and Garrett Wilson were all taken in the 6 to 10 range.
I was about to say top 10. I know there's a bunch of them. But I was like top 5. As soon as you said 2019, I was like, okay, my math is actually better, because I was like the Joe Burrow year. And then right after that, I was like Jamar Chase. I think
Jamar Chase is younger than I remember. He plays so much older, and I saw that. I was like, oh shit. And so no, you are correct. Jamar Chase, although kind of surprising that he is the only receiver to go top 5 in the last 5 years.
It is very crazy.
Could be interesting. All right. This one's great. I love this one.
Oh, no.
True or false, number 2. Quinyon Mitchell is a draft prospect that you and I both love. The cornerback out of Toledo. Very good corner. Arguably the best corner in this year's draft. If he were to be selected in the first round in about 2 weeks, as we all expect he will be, true or false, Quinyon Mitchell would be the first Toledo player to be drafted in the first round in NFL history.
First Toledo player drafted in the first round in NFL history. Oh, that is tougher, because if you go like way back, then it's like I have no idea if there was like ever a year where there's a guy that just like raised over to Quinyon Mitchell just absolutely blew up for Toledo and he got drafted in the first round. It was like I can't account for that. But I think I'm going to stick to my guns here, and I'm going to say Quinyon Mitchell would be the first one. So I don't think a player from Toledo has ever been drafted in the first round. So I guess answering your question, I guess that would be false.
True.
Right?
True.
Okay. So I'd be answering.
He would be the first one. Yes.
He would be the first one.
Damn. There's only one other Toledo player.
I knew it. I was like probably way back, and I have no idea.
It's actually not as way back as you would think, because I thought that's where I was going to get you. Okay. I'm not going to make you reveal what year you were born, but you may or may not remember this guy. I never heard of him. Dan Williams, the defensive end in 1993, was taken in the first round by the Denver Broncos.
I don't remember him.
According to my research, he was the only other Toledo Rocket to be drafted in the first round. So Quinyon Mitchell would be the second Toledo player.
Second one. Okay.
All right. So I kind of went back-to-back softballs here. Oh, that was a
softball?
Actually, you know what? No. This next one's about to be your first softball.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Amir, your favorite college team of all time?
San Jose State. Let's go.
All right. So Question number 3, true or false? San Jose State does not have any representatives in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. That's a good one. That's a good one. I know Dick Vermeil and Bill Walsh both coached at San Jose State, so I don't know whether that counts or not, because that's the thing. You're laughing. I know this is the thing that's going to trick me up. God damn it. I hate you so much right now. Because obviously he gets all the Bill Walsh, that is, he gets all the recommendations for coaching at Stanford, and I don't know where Dick Vermeil coached before the NFL, so I can't speak on that one as far as the college level, but I do know both of them coached at San Jose State. But I don't know if that would count or not. You know what? I'm gonna go with the fence thing here, and I'm gonna hedge my bets. I'm gonna say true.
That they do not have any representatives. You're gonna say that's true.
No, I gotta say that they do. So I guess false. False to your question then.
You are correct.
Okay. Yeah.
I went for Vermeil and Walsh to purposely. I was hoping you were gonna think players only, and I was
I 100% knew. I was like, that's the fringe thing. So I was like, players, I really doubt it. But I was like, coaches, I was like, yes, Bill Walsh, I know 100% coached at San Jose State. Same thing with Dick Vermeil. I don't think he was ever the head coach. I think he was like an assistant head coach. But I was like, does that count? And I was like, I think it does. So
that shows how well you know me, because you sniffed that out immediately.
Exactly.
You sniffed that trap out immediately.
I know.
But Damn it.
Let's go. All right.
All right. So you're currently sitting at 13 now. Let me update your score here real quick. But yes, hey, thank you for Dick Vermeil, by the way. Only man who's ever brought a Super Bowl to St. Louis. St. Louis. Not LA. St. Louis. All right. Number 4, true or false. You got 2 more left, including this one. No rookie has ever won Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, that is interesting. I do know a rookie has won MVP. I think that has happened in the NFL. But as far as Super Bowl MVP, so I'm assuming it'd be the same year, right? I mean, that makes the most sense, right? There has been rookie of the years that have won MVPs. Like, I mean, that has happened before. I know that for sure.
Yeah, so no rookie MVP, like league awards don't matter. I'm talking about the game only. No rookie at any position has ever won Super Bowl MVP. True or false?
Okay, I guess regardless of awards, you're just saying no rookie has ever won
like just the game
Super Bowl MVP. Okay, yeah, got it. Okay, all right. That's a good one. I'm not 100% sure on that one, because I think all the recent ones that I can remember, at least, I think most of them have been veterans. I don't think there's ever
This
been.
is why I went Super Bowl MVP, because there are so many fucking random ones that you're just like,
that's
how
the tough thing too.
Guy win?
That's the tough thing too. Yeah, there's a bunch of randos out there that are just like, did he? Yeah, I guess he did. I guess so. I feel like that feat has not been accomplished. So I'm gonna say no rookie has ever won Super Bowl MVP. So I think you phrased it that way. So then I would say true. True.
Okay, I hate you. This is way less fun than I thought it would be. You are correct.
Yeah.
The general consensus I read is the 2 closest people were Kurt Warner when they beat the Tennessee Titans, and then Tom Brady, obviously, when he won his first Super Bowl. But the only problem is those were both their first years as starters. They both came in the year before, so they were disqualified from being rookies to win it. So yes, you are correct. No rookie has yet to win Super Bowl MVP. All right. Are you ready?
I always didn't like that. You know, we've discussed this before, where it's like, I like the MLB rule, and I think the NBA.
Well, that's why Blake Griffin won. Remember, because that was not Blake Griffin's first year when he won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I think the MLB does it the most distinctly, where it's like your service years or whatever, right? Yeah. So it's like, even if he came up for part of the season, it's like they accumulate all that. Then it's like, okay, he hasn't played a full year yet, so he could qualify for Rookie of the Year. Whereas like in the NFL, it's like, if you're Jordan Love, you sat on the bench for the first couple of years of your career, then now you're starting here. It's like, nope, you're not contention. It doesn't matter. It's just like,
so. That would have been a fun debate. If Jordan Love was in contention, could he have beat out CJ Stroud?
That is a good debate. I'm wondering. I think because CJ Stroud set so many rookie records.
He had the publicity. Well. He had that hot media streak too. That would have been Stroud. So, but
it would have been close. I'm not gonna say it was like a landslide CJ Stroud, but I think CJ Stroud still would have won. But just he would have given a run for his money. I don't doubt it.
Or it just hypothetically, if Bryce Young went down from the millionth time he got sacked by week 4, and then he came back next year with a rebuilt offense. Ooh, that could have been interesting.
Here's the thing, Anthony Richardson, he obviously only played 4 games. It's will he qualify next year?
That's a good one. That is a good one, especially because the Colts offense is going to be so good next year. I can't wait. A healthy, non-pissed off Jonathan Taylor is going to be great.
All right. Still crossing your fingers that they, get Brock Bowers at 15. Let's see if that happens.
15. We're trading up for him, apparently.
Okay. Let's see if that happens too. That'll stir things up. But
speaking all right, let's keep the trivia going. That is perfect bridge. I promise we did not do this on purpose.
Okay. All right.
True or false? The Indianapolis Colts have had the most number 1 overall picks in NFL history.
Oh. I remember doing research for this question when we did Millionaire before.
I've repeated a lot of past draft trivia,
but I don't remember the answer. So I think this sort of bails you out a little bit because I don't remember the answer. They've had a few. I mean, that's definitely
to say the least.
There. Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if they've had the most. So I'm gonna say false. Damn, they did.
Now, all right, now you have a chance at redemption though. They are tied with the most. What franchise are they tied with?
I feel like Cleveland's the easy answer, but I want to go in a different direction. You know what? No, I'm going to go Cleveland. Damn. Okay.
You ready for this? They did used to play in Cleveland, though. The Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, the Los Angeles Rams, yeah.
The Los Angeles Rams and the Indianapolis Colts are tied at 7 first overall picks in NFL history. For the Colts, it's 6.5 since Luck, only had half a career.
True. But okay, yeah.
All right.
I do remember that now.
So, Amir, going in our multiple choice section, you are currently at 13 points.
Okay. All right.
How you feeling about your chances so far? So 34 to beat. You do the math for me because I can't do it. 21? That means 21 points.
34 minus 13. So yeah, 21. Good math.
21. There we go. All right. Are you ready for multiple choice?
Yeah. Let's see how this goes.
All right. So this is actually a fact that I learned. I was trying to research the softball for you, and I did not know they did this. The 49ers traded up in the draft to select all-time greatest. He is truly the most unquestioned GOAT in sports history. Jerry Rice. The 49ers traded up in the first round to get Jerry Rice. What team did the 49ers trade up with Jerry Rice to get Jerry Rice? Excuse me. Mm-hmm. Was it A, the Seattle Seahawks? Was it B, the Oakland Raiders? Was it C, the New England Patriots? Or was it D, the Dallas Cowboys?
It's definitely not D because they jumped ahead of Dallas to select Jerry. So I know that's
fact. I hate you.
I'm sorry, but that's a known fact that with Jerry Rice is they wanted to avoid Dallas getting him. So I know for a fact it's not D. I'm sorry that ruined your fun fact, but yeah, that was a clear evident one. I was if you put that in there, I was that's your foil for me. That you're oh, maybe they traded.
That was exactly what it was.
I was nope, I knew that one. They're trying to jump Dallas because otherwise he would have ended up a Cowboys. So. Okay, so it's either the Raiders, the Seahawks, or the Patriots, you said, right? Those are the other 3 options?
It was, the Seahawks, Raiders. So A, the Seattle Seahawks. B, the Oakland Raiders. Oakland, RIP. Double RIP now. Man, Oakland's had a rough couple of years.
It's triple, man. They lost all their teams, dude.
I forgot the Warriors technically moved. And then C, the
How do you technically? Patriots. They did move.
They're still Golden State. Get out of here.
They're in San Francisco though now. It's
it's a 20-minute longer drive.
Okay, so A, Seattle, B, the Oakland Raiders, and C was the New England Patriots, D was the Dallas Cowboys, but we're not going to select them because it's definitely not them.
That's out. Yep.
I'm going to go with I'm pretty sure, actually no, I'm not even pretty sure. I'm 50% sure it's the New England Patriots. I'm going to go with C.
Very good. Way to prove your fandom there. So you are now 14. Now, another funny thing I learned while researching this question, I came prepared with a backup fun fact, is apparently Jerry Rice was not atop Bill Walsh's board. But all the other receivers that were atop it kept getting picked, and he was like, oh shit. And the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm blanking, it was some receiver with the last name Brown, not Tim Brown, before everyone's how could you forget him? And Bill Walsh really apparently wanted him. So he called up the Bengals, was like, I will give you the field for that 13th overall pick. And the Bengals were like, nope, fuck you. And hung up the phone and then took the receiver that Bill Walsh wanted. Hence why he pulled the trigger. So do you know what and this does not count towards your score, but just out of curiosity, do you know what the Niners traded to move from pick 28 to 16? Because the Cowboys were picking at 17. So they knew they had to get up ahead of them.
The compensation, I have no idea. I really don't.
This just shows you how much draft picks value has skyrocketed in the last decade or two. All they had to give up to move up 12 picks in the first round was they exchanged first rounders with the Cowboys.
Okay.
And then that year,
with the Patriots, right?
With the Patriots. Or sorry, they exchanged first rounders with the Patriots.
I was like, we started off by saying that we did move
ahead of the Cowboys. To move ahead of the Cowboys. And then they gave the Patriots that year's second and third rounders. They didn't have to give up any future draft picks.
Yeah. Things have vastly changed too. That is insane.
That would take at least next year's first to make that happen.
Yeah. But I think the crazy thing too, that a lot of people don't know, is that nobody really knew about Jerry Rice too. Like, the only reason Bill Walsh knew about Jerry Rice is that he was on the road and he couldn't go to sleep. So he was watching highlights on TV in his hotel room, and they were showing highlights of Mississippi Valley State, like absolutely, with this air raid offense back in these HBCU schools. And he saw this guy, Jerry Rice, is like, who the hell is this guy? And why is he dominating everybody on the field? So after that night, he told his scouts, he's like, I want more research on this guy because he's a potential find for us. And so that's how he ended up on the board. And then, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that lots of the other guys that probably should have gone around that time went a lot sooner. That's how he ended up with Jerry Rice. But just he didn't even have him on his board to begin with. It was just sort of circumstance, just like, who the hell is this guy? We need this guy. It was twofold. It was crazy.
I did not know that. That's a great story. Yeah. But my favorite part of that story is, tell me that is not the most Bengals thing of all time. Like, we're going to screw Bill Walsh so hard here. And they still just gifted him the greatest receiver to ever play the game.
Yeah. Because the biggest thing too, that a lot of people don't know, and then we'll move on with the trivia. I'm sorry, because I can go deep in this here. Because I read an autobiography about Bill Walsh, is that he coached with Cincinnati and he wanted He wanted the head coaching job in Cincinnati, but they wouldn't give it to him for some reason. And so he left to go coach in San Francisco. What does he do in San Francisco? But he wins 4 Super Bowls for him. And Cincinnati's like, well, we could have had that, but you didn't. You did it.
God, I know Cleveland gets a lot of flack for this, but Cincinnati is a very cursed franchise.
Yeah.
Oh, you poor bastards. All right, so you're currently sitting at 14. Very good job proving you are a good 49ers fan. Okay.
So I'm 2 for 2 on the 49er questions, or softballs, you said, right?
Yeah, you are.
I want to make sure I get all those right. If I miss everything else,
that's fair. That's fair. At least you can walk away with that crown. That's fair. Exactly. I absolutely understand that. All right. So I asked you about who has the most first overall picks of all time. But of these following teams, which team is tied, because the list is quite extensive, for the fewest first overall picks in draft history?
Okay.
Ready? Is it A, the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Okay.
Is it B, the New York Giants? Is it C, the Green Bay Packers? Or is it D, the New York Jets?
Jets. First overall, right?
First overall.
Okay. I know Steelers have always usually trended towards picking towards the bottom of the first. Like, they're very rarely towards the top. So, I mean, that's a very good potential answer there. The Packers, I know they've usually had pretty good drafts as well. But, I mean, there's a reason that, they're on this list. Like, I mean, there's potential that they could be, one of those teams that got a few every so often. But I really don't think so. What are the other options?
So it was the Steelers.
The Steelers.
Giants. Packers. Jets.
Steelers, Packers, Jets, Giants. Okay, so I don't think it's the New York teams. See, but then part of me feels like those are there for foil answers. That's maybe one of them is the answer. But I do know the Jets historically have had a lot of, high level first round picks, but I don't know about first overall. That's a good one too. Okay, and now I'm second guessing myself. This is I'm tripping myself up now. That's the thing here. Okay. Surprisingly, I think I'm going to eliminate the Packers because I think they used to be bad before, and then they got a lot of good players, and so that's why they picked towards the bottom. I remember I brought the stat up before with the Steelers that they used to be very bad before Chuck.
Chuck Noll. This is actually, I will tell you what. So to give our listeners a little background info, I'm also filibustering what you think is that. So I asked him to send me his notes from the last trivia episode to kind of like let me know how I should model mine. Those notes about Chuck Noll is what inspired me to look up this question.
Makes sense. Yeah. So I think the Steelers were probably maybe number one overall a couple of times during that time before Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin, obviously. So I'm going to eliminate them too. So I'm actually going to go with one of the New York teams, the teams that I thought potentially, based on recent history, have performed very poorly to end up with top 10, top 5 picks here, to actually end up with not as many number one overall picks. So I'm actually going to go... Not sure which direction to go to.
Jets or Giants?
Jets or Giants?
Jets or Giants?
I'm actually going to pick the Jets. I think I'm going to go with the Jets.
That is the hardest question I am going to give you all night. How the hell did you get that right? I hate you so much.
Yes, let's go.
How is that possible?
Let's go.
You're an asshole.
Oh my god. Oh god. Oh, awesome. That feels really good.
All right, this is not. Hold on, let me change your score, you dick. All right, you're currently.
I really wanted to go with Pittsburgh. I'll be honest with you. I really wanted to go with Pittsburgh.
And I thought I was going to get you with the Giants thing, hoping you would forget that technically the Chargers drafted Eli, not the Giants.
Exactly,
like that's why I include the Giants, because I was hoping to trip you up with that. Damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
But I know, like, even the year that they had 3 first-round picks, they were all lower.
First overall, yeah.
Same thing with Neil O'Donnell when they got him during that famous 82 draft with all those quarterbacks, Marino and Kelly and like all those guys. So that was a lower pick as well. So, all right. Yes, let's go.
This does not count. This does not count as bonus points. But do you want to guess who so the Jets were tied with like 5 other teams for only having one number 1 overall pick. Who was the number 1 overall pick for the Jets?
That's a good question. I have no
Wow, you really don't know that? It's a softball, man.
I don't remember that one.
Even I knew this off the top of my head. I looked it up to confirm, but I don't know if he's still there, but was on ESPN for a while.
Was on ESPN for a while.
Not a quarterback.
Keyshawn Johnson?
Keyshawn Johnson.
Wow, okay. I forgot he was number 1 overall. I thought he was lower.
Number 1. Okay. I almost shit. I wish I had made that question now, because I was gonna ask who was the last USC player to go number 1 overall, but damn it. Because it was him. A lot of people go Reggie Bush
that makes
or Matt Leinart, and no, none of them.
I remember Bush was not, because that was the whole big thing.
That was the big thing with him and Mario Williams. Yep. So damn it. Okay, all right.
Wow. I forgot he was number 1 overall. So yeah, you would have got me on that one if you made that your question at one point. So, oh, nice. Okay, feel good.
Yeah, you really.
Once you get to the short answer, you're gonna get me on the short answer. I'll tell you. I'm getting 2 options here. That's sort of helping me here.
Oh man, I almost cut this one because it was too mean.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, no, you're really gonna not like me for this one.
Oh, no, I'm not.
I really should have cut this. This one was too mean.
As long as it's multiple choice, I could sort of have a semblance of a possibility.
Oh, just you wait, my friend.
All right, let's see. Sure, just bring it up.
This college team is 3rd with the most first-round picks since 2000.
3rd, okay.
Well, I could have said first, but you obviously know it was Alabama. Like that makes it too easy.
That's true.
So this college team has the 3rd most players selected in the first round since 2000. Is it A, Ohio State, B, Miami, C, Florida, or D, Georgia?
Georgia has had recent success now. If you go all the way back to the 2000s, I don't know if they probably would have had as many first round picks. I'm thinking
they were pretty good during those Stafford days.
Well, you got a good point there. Miami was very good during those early 2000s. Like that was the second year of the Catholics versus convicts. Like I don't remember if you saw that 30 for 30 or not.
That's my favorite 30 for 30.
It's a lot of people's favorites. But I don't know. Maybe you've seen it. Maybe you don't. I haven't seen it. I don't know. So just like you got a lot of great famous Miami guys that came out of that teams during but recent success, not as much. Like I'd probably say like Jalen Phillips is probably their more recent first round pick?
Oh no, that's a bonus round pick. Hold on.
That's a okay, my bad. I'm sorry. So I don't know if they have as many recent players as they did probably during those early 2000s, like 2000 to 2010, obviously. Ohio State, they've had a pretty good track record the entire, past decade or so. What was the fourth one? You said Ohio State, Miami, Georgia, and what was the fourth one?
Ohio State, Miami, Florida, or Georgia.
Florida.
So you gotta remember those Tim Tebow days. This is since
I
2000.
know that's the tough thing too, because that's what I was sort of thinking there.
And yes, they can't be dead or alive. So Aaron Hernandez does. Oh no, he doesn't count because he was not a first rounder.
He was not drafted in the first round. Yeah, exactly. God, that's a tricky one. But it's like you got guys like Chris Winkie. I think no, he went to Florida State if I remember correctly, right? For Chris Winkie.
I think you're correct, but I'm not. He went to one of them.
Okay. I'm going to eliminate Georgia because, like I said, I think they got the recent success, but I don't think they have the past ones, even though they had the Stafford era years. So it's like I still am leaning against that one.
So it's Ohio State, Miami, or Florida.
I think I'm going to do the same thing with Miami. I think they had the early success, but they haven't had the much more recent success. So I'm going to eliminate them as well. I feel like Ohio State's the obvious answer. So that's why by that, the process of elimination, I'm going to go with Florida.
Gotcha.
Yeah, of course you did. I didn't feel confident about this one. Was it Miami?
It is Miami.
Okay.
They beat Georgia by 2. Miami has 32 first round picks.
So it's Miami and then Georgia. So I was
Georgia. Yeah, exactly. By 30. Right, so because it's funny, that's why I picked this question, because you almost had the flip, right? Like, yeah, Georgia sucked for the first half of the last 20 years, and then they got really good. And then Miami was really good for the last, or for the first 10 years, and they sucked for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So, but man, that just shows you how good those early 2000 Miami.
It's true. There's a lot of great guys.
The fact that even to this, the article I used for research was from September of this past year of 2023, and they are still that ahead. Like, that was an up-to-date article. I made sure because I was like, there's no way that's right. Now, do you want to guess? And you know what? Fine. I'll throw you a bonus point. It's not Jalen Phillips, who went to UCLA, by the way. Well, I guess he went to UCLA and Miami. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It was not Jalen Phillips.
When he was drafted, I think they said
it was out of Miami, right? But he spent more time at UCLA. Okay. It was not Jalen Phillips. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
Who was the last player out of Miami to go in the first round? This is not a question. This is a bonus question. But who was the last player out of Miami to go in the first round?
To go in the first round.
If you get this, I'll be shocked because I totally forgot about this.
I don't think it's a skill position player. So
it's not. I will give you that. It is not.
It's not a receiver. It's not a tight end. It's not a running back. Not even a quarterback.
Definitely not a quarterback.
Yeah.
They haven't had quarterbacks since 2004.
No, exactly. And even that, it was Ken Dorsey, who was a former Niner, and he did not have a great career.
former Brown, great Ken Dorsey.
Was he that great with the Browns? I don't think so. But yeah, quarterback, definitely not. I'm leaning towards edge rusher. I think that would make most sense to me. But I'm not 100% on that as far as who that edge rusher is. That's the problem. Yeah, I don't think I could come up with it off the top of my head.
I like this pick at the time. I didn't think he'd be this good, but he is damn good. Gregory Rousseau to the Buffalo Bills.
Rousseau, yeah,
in 2021. So this will, in all likelihood, mark the third straight year we have gone without a Miami first-round draft pick, because I don't think anyone out of Miami is going to go in the first round this year.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think so. Because we like Cameron Kitchens, the safety out of Miami.
He's good. A great second or third round pick, but not first.
Yeah, but I think just his combine hurt him a bit. His pro day was a little bit better, but just, I think there's just, unfortunately still some things that he needs to clean up. That's just like, he's definitely not going to be a first round pick. I really doubt any safety is going to be a first round pick this year. So I think Kitchens probably in the late half of the second, maybe early part of the third. That seems more reasonable. So fortunately, not as many good, not as much good talent coming out of Miami these days.
All right. So you are still sitting at 15 points going into our second to last multiple choice question. And if you know the answer when I hit it, just go ahead and just hit that buzzer. Okay. Because this is going to be one of those I get you, or this is going to be one of those where you just know I was trying to do it, get you.
No, we'll let the options come out because we got people participating at home with the watching.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. All right. Who is behind Joe Montana as the all-time passing yards leader in 49ers history? Is it A, John Brody, B, Steve Young, C, Jeff Garcia, or D, one of my favorite NFL names of all time, Y.A. Tittle?
Y.A. Tittle. Yeah, it is a good name. It is a good name. So,
passing yards, not touchdowns or anything, just passing yards, career
passing yards, right?
Career passing yards, yes.
Yeah. So you gave me Montana, Young, Brody.
No.
Okay, sorry.
Behind Montana, because obviously Montana's number one.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So it's A, John Brody.
Okay. B,
Steve Young.
Yeah.
C, Jeff Garcia.
Yeah.
Or D, Y.A. Tittle.
It's not Steve Young. He's actually a little bit lower on the list. I think he's third right now. Jeff Garcia racked up a lot of yards. Before Brock Purdy, he was the last quarterback to throw for over 4,000 yards in a single season.
You guys have the weirdest quarterback history of any other team in the NFL.
I don't know. The only team that I think could trump us would probably be the Chicago Bears because they have not had very good luck.
No, that's not weird. That's just bad.
No, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
You guys at least have solid quarterback history. Like
a lot of good quarterbacks, but just unfortunately, it's just it's just been very I know a couple of guys got close. Like obviously, Alex Smith had a very good year during the Harbaugh years. Kaepernick, I think, came close, but nobody ever surpassed 4,000.
Cap finished fifth. I almost included Cap on this list.
Yeah,
he was surprised. He was actually surprisingly high for how little he played.
I'm gonna go with Jeff Garcia.
That is a sip of victory. I got you.
Got me. It was probably Brody, right?
It was Brody. Yeah. Who the hell is John Brody?
He was the big guy before, obviously, we got Young and all those guys, right? So he was that last quarterback before we got into the more recent era. So
okay. Well, I will say a couple things about John Brody. First off, I looked this up just to see if I could get you. I clicked on John Brody's name when I saw him on the list. His picture was black and white. I'm like, yep, that's gonna be a question. Nice. This is actually kind of surprising because you're correct. And if I got that question, I would have obviously guessed Steve Young. He beat out Steve Young, but only by about 1,500 yards.
Yeah, it was close, but I know Steve Young's a little bit lower. Yeah.
Yeah. So Steve, I feel like if he had just played one more year, and I don't know the quarterback situation when he retired or anything, but he probably would have gotten there at number 2. And also, how about this? John Brody also doubled as a PGA golfer.
That one I didn't know. But we're sticking on 49er quarterbacks. Fun fact about Steve Young. I don't know if you know, but his last year in college at BYU, he finished 4th in the Heisman voting.
Whoa, I did not know that. So wait, did you give him? Well, I guess that was before the whole New York thing.
Yeah, I think that's before they did the whole presentation, all that stuff. But yeah, I think if they obviously did the presentation, all that stuff, I'm pretty sure he would have gotten an invite. But yeah, I didn't know that for the longest time. And then they're doing a Football Life that they show on NFL Network. They did one on Steve Young, and they brought that up as far as the big thing about him. I was like, damn, I didn't know that. But yeah,
I did not know that either. But like I said, so yeah, the options were John Brody, Steve Young, Jeff Garcia, Y.A. Tittle. That's 1 through 4, and number 5 is Colin Kaepernick. I'm looking at this list. I'm like, what the hell is you are the most one of the most storied franchises in the league. How is this possible?
Yeah.
So weird. All right. You ready for your last multiple choice question?
Yes, let's do it.
This one's really good. This is why I was cracking up when you're like, anything before this past decade. Oh, you're gonna be so mad at me. This seventh round pick made the 1990s All-Decade team. Was it A, John Randall, B, Shannon Sharp, C, Chris Carter, or D, Kevin Green? That's another mean one. That's another one where I was like, I'm being real mean with this one.
I don't think Chris Carter went that late. I think he went a lot earlier out of Ohio State.
Okay.
Kevin Green, I think, was a higher pick too, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
The two that got me, because I remember reading about this before too, that I know Shannon Sharp went really late, and I also know John Randall went pretty late too.
I will say this: none of them are first round picks.
Yes. Oh wow. Okay. No more.
That is very much on purpose. I purposely went no first round picks.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Green and Carter, I think, went earlier. I know very similar to Terrell Davis, Shannon Sharp went pretty late too.
See, and that's what inspired this question, because I wanted to do a Terrell Davis question. And I was just like, okay, fine. And then all of a sudden, Shannon Sharp came out. I didn't realize Shannon Sharp was a late round pick. So then I just started doing all these 90s like deep dives. And also, like John Randall, I didn't know was that late. Chris Carter has a very interesting like draft story background. Like all of these guys, I was like, okay, this has got to be a question.
That's a good question. It's a good question. And then on top of it, like making the all decades team of the 90s, like that's the big one too, because Randall was really good. Obviously, all these guys were really good. I mean, there's no question.
They all made the team. They all made the team.
They all made the team.
They all made the team.
But just who was the seventh round pick as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they all made the team. Okay, that makes a lot more sense then. So I'm gonna go with Shannon Sharp. I think he went in the 7th compared to John Randall or any of the other guys. Yeah, because I remember he went to a small school in Savannah State too. So I mean that's the biggest thing too. That I don't think the scouts were looking as deep as they are now, right? So I'm gonna go with Shannon Sharp. That's my answer.
I fucking hate you so much.
Let's go. Let's go.
You are correct. It was B, Shannon Sharp. John Randall actually went undrafted.
Undrafted? Wow. Okay, you would have got me on that one. You would have got me on that one.
He was too short for the NFL, so he went undrafted. That man was Aaron Donald before Aaron Donald.
That guy was a dominant dude. My lord, John Randall was a dude to watch when he was playing.
Kevin Green's a more boring story. He just went the 4th round.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, I was thinking 3rd or 4th player, round.
But
same thing with Carter.
Surprising, right? He made the 90s decade team, though. I knew he was good, but I was like, I know he was good, but all decade team?
Yeah.
So I also wasn't aware he played for like 4 teams.
One of them, I think, was San Francisco, right?
Yeah, it was Niners, Steelers, and then I
knew it was the Steelers, and I'm pretty sure the Niners. The other two, I couldn't tell you for sure. But
how about this? This is why I was laughing. We're like, Chris Carter went higher than that. He didn't go higher than any of them. He went in a different draft. Chris Carter was drafted into the NFL in the NFL supplemental draft.
And the supplemental draft, wow, you would have got me on that one too.
I did not know this before I started my research either. Crazy. How about this for a fun fact? Before his last year in college, he decided to hire an agent to help his like NFL prospects before his final year in college. The NCAA found out, suspended him for the season. So he decided to pull out of college, and therefore he went in the technically 4th round of the supplemental draft.
Wow. Got it.
That was the ultimate trick answer. I was really hoping you were going to go with that one. All right. You ready for the real tough section now?
God, this is the part I was dreading. Let's see how this goes.
This is where, all right. So you're currently sitting in 16 now.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, I went mean with these. Number 1 for short answer. So no multiple choice, no options. He either knows it or he doesn't.
Just gotta know it. Okay.
Who was the last 2-way player in Division I to be drafted?
Wow. Yeah, this I have no idea. I guess like how would they signify 2-way? Because it's like when they get drafted, they're usually given a position as to what they're being.
So not 2-way into the NFL, but they played enough snaps to be considered relevant on both sides of the ball.
Okay.
You're gonna be so mad when I tell you, because you're gonna remember this guy. It's within the last 30 years.
Well, I'm gonna go more recent then. So I'm gonna go last year. I'm gonna go Marte Mapu out of Sacramento State.
Not Division I.
You're right. God damn. Okay.
I very much did that on purpose. I did that qualifier in there on purpose.
Damn. Okay.
I knew I'd get you with this one. You're gonna be so mad when I tell you too.
2-way player. Because they drafted Devin Hester as a corner, but then they transitioned him into a receiver. So I don't think that would apply in this situation. God. What else would it have been? Because I know out of Utah this year, we got Sione Vaki out of Utah.
Which is what made me think of that question. He's the exact player that made me think of this question.
No, it's good. I like it.
By the way, speaking of Mapu, he's at like 77 on men right now. Good for that guy.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I really don't know. So I'm just going to say it, even though I know it's wrong. I'm going to say Devin Hester.
And with that sound that you hear in the distance is 1,000 LAFB fans screaming in your ears. That is Miles Jack, the linebacker / running back out of
Right.
UCLA.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So Miles Jack, like I said, was a running back and linebacker out of UCLA, was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the top of the second round in 2016. He was being discussed as a top 10 pick, but unfortunately, he blew out his knee in a practice that previous fall. His future was very much in question. I remember at the time when they drafted him in the top of the second round, people were like, oh, I don't know about that. Yeah. He's so good, the Steelers pulled him out of retirement last year. And he was drafted 8 years ago. So it was him. So I actually have his stats here. So his career stats on the defensive side, he got 15 sacks and 4 picks on the defensive side. Very good defensive player at UCLA. His rushing stats were not as good as I remember. Because I remember him being like, oh my God, this linebacker's a running back. That's great. His career, he had 387 rushing yards in like 3 years. But he did have 11 rushing touchdowns. So it's kind of like the Fridge Perry type thing of just like, we're at the goal line, just give him. But he was the last D1 two-way player to go in the NFL draft.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, actually, fun story about him. I don't know if you knew this one, but you said the Steelers pulled him out of retirement. While he was in retirement and he was considering, like, you know, signing with another team or getting his name out there, he was considering pursuing a career as an electrician. Like, he was going to go into a trade.
You did tell me this.
Yeah, instead of going to the NFL. But then, yeah, the Steelers called because they had an opening. I think one of their players obviously went down. They brought him out of retirement to sign to the Steelers. And so now he has an NFL career again. But just, yeah, I remember at one point he was considering, that was an article, I think it was on ESPN. It might have been on another publication. But just, yeah, he was considering becoming an electrician instead of an NFL player.
Hey, I will say that my cousin's an electrician and he makes bank. So if you're a good electrician, not a bad career path. All right. Number 2 for short answer. Oh, God. Who is the highest drafted FCS quarterback in NFL draft history?
FCS quarterback in NFL.
I purposely did this because I know you confuse FCS with D2 all the time. It's gonna be great.
I do. This is not gonna be good at all.
This is my emergency like pull the lever question in case you were doing really well. I'm like, I'm gonna get him.
I feel like the obvious answer is Carson Wentz because I know North Dakota State is FCS, but I feel like there might have been somebody that went number 1 overall out of FCS, and I just don't know what that answer is. So I'm just gonna stick with the gut answer, and I'm gonna go with Carson Wentz.
Damn it.
Yes, let's go.
Damn it. I was hoping to trip you up. I was hoping to confuse you with the Trey Lance, Carson Wentz thing.
Yeah.
Like, who went 2, who went 3, like that type of thing. No. I forgot that Wentz went 2. He went 2. That's
it was between Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. And I remember that was the debate. And just, yeah, I remember he went 2. Jared Goff went 1. And obviously, I know the Niners took Trey Lance at number 3.
So it was Trey Lance. Do you want to guess who is tied with Trey Lance for taking 3rd overall out of an FCS college?
Out of an FCS college? No idea on that one, buddy.
Steve McNair of Alcorn State.
Alcorn State. Okay, HBCU. Got it. Yeah, I like it. Okay.
So those 2 were tied for 2nd. This man holds his place solidly in 3rd.
Wait, they were tied for 2nd or they were tied for 3rd?
Tied for. They were picked 3rd, but they were tied for 2nd highest drafted.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yes, yeah. Now this man sits solely at number 3 in terms of highest drafted at pick number 7. It's Phil Simms. Do you know where Phil Simms went to college? Because I learned that while I was doing research.
I remember looking this up and I saw it, but I
could not believe this. He went to Morehead State.
Morehead State. Nice.
I could not believe that. I was like like a low key, kind of like a shitty football dynasty, but football dynasty was born out of Morehead State.
True. Very true.
He was drafted 7th out of Morehead State. So, okay, good job. You're now sitting at 17. All right. There are 2 schools tied for the most first-round picks in the same year. So the most players taken in the first round in the same year. What are those schools?
Most first-round picks in the same. So in the same year, 2 schools had the most first-round picks.
Hold on. Sorry, so in the same year, this school had the most players go in the first round.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
Now it's 2 different schools, 2 different years.
2 different years. Okay, got it.
But the number of players selected were the same.
Was the same. Okay. So name one of those schools.
Name both of them.
Name both of them. God damn it. I feel like based on recent history, I think one of them is going to be Alabama. And then I know they're usually on this list as far as like most ever drafted out of a school. So part of me feels like maybe they had a year where they had a lot drafted from the school. But part of me feels like that's wrong too. But I really just I wouldn't have another answer. Like maybe Miami's in this question again, like based on the previous question. Like maybe they're one of the schools as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Alabama for one, and I think the other one I'm gonna say Notre Dame.
Yes, I beat you. You're right. It was Alabama and Miami.
God damn it! I was close though. Oh my gosh!
All right, no. Listen,
were you nervous when I said Miami?
I was very.
I was gonna
no, I'm telling you, when this episode goes out on YouTube, watch because I was purposely covering up my mouth.
I know. I saw you as soon as I said Miami. I was like, did he have a reaction? I was like, maybe I do go with Miami, but I was like, no, yeah. I was like, maybe back in the day, there's a lot of players that came out of Notre Dame one year, and that's what it was. But wow, okay.
So
right.
Okay, it was Miami.
I feel worse that I had it and I didn't get it.
It was Miami in 2004 and Alabama in 2021.
Yeah, I remember the Alabama one was pretty recent. I was like, they had a good string of success with a lot of guys going in 2021. That makes a ton of sense with but yeah, Miami one.
But listen to this. So I forgot to write down the total number of players for both. I think it was 8. I could be mistaken there, but I did write down the notable players. So that 2004 Miami first rounders include Sean Taylor, nice. Kellen Winslow, Jonathan Vilma, and Vince Wilfork. And keep in mind, there were other players. Those were just ones that panned out. Now, this is crazy. Listen to this 2021 Alabama first round class.
One of them's Mac Jones.
Well, okay. Jalen Waddle. I got another good bust in there that I totally forgot about. Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
Patrick Surtain.
Ooh, that's great.
So good. Devonta Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Now we get to our 2 busts. Mac Jones.
Yeah.
How about this? I totally forgot this guy even got drafted. Alex Leatherwood.
Oh yeah, I remember right? We talked about him too. That we were like, as we were watching his tape that year, we are like, I don't think Alex Leatherwood should be in the middle of the first that a lot of people were projecting him to go, and then he ended up getting drafted by the Raiders right there in the middle of the first. I was like,
Raiders.
I actually thought he should have gone in the second. Like, I didn't like his talent.
No, I didn't. I remember at the time being like, I understand why he's super athletic.
Yeah.
But like, good guy, he's gonna need a lot of work. And then the Raiders were like, athletic? Did you say athletic? Okay, he's a Raider. It's just like, oh man. And then finally, Najee Harris was that year as well.
Oh yeah, he was.
That is a loaded draft class, dude.
That was a very good one. But yeah, fun fact. Actually, you bring up this question, but I don't know if you saw recent reports. These are still rumors, obviously, but the Denver Broncos are very desperate to trade up into the top 10 picks to select a quarterback that they're willing to include Patrick Surtain in a potential trade as well. So I mean, that should possibly swing some possible trade partners.
That may be the thing that if I'm Arizona, that pushes me off Marvin Harrison Jr.
It could be. It very well could be. So yeah, that's something like, I don't know how legitimate that rumor is, but that is something that the Broncos, I guess, are very desperate for a quarterback.
So we're at 56 minutes. Why would you throw that bombshell in now?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize this was going to be a question, and you're going to bring up Patrick Surtain's draft class.
The reason I say this is because what about this? If I'm the Chargers, I'm sitting there, and if for whatever reason the Cardinals don't take Marvin Harrison Jr. at 4, great, we're taking him at 5. But if Marvin Harrison Jr. does go at 4, as is expected, and they're calling me up going, hey, you want one of the best corners in the game? And I'm Jim Harbaugh. I'm going, yeah. And I'm moving at the hell out of 5 and letting them move up.
Jeez, can you imagine them pairing up both Asante Samuel Jr. and Patrick Surtain II? It's like both of their dads were amazing. Now you got both their sons being amazing on the same team on top of it. Like, just dear Lord, that would be just madness. Especially in that division with Mahomes and like potential.
I mean, hence why I picked the Chargers. Is like, if I'm, you gotta get as much secondary help, and Derwin James is still there. So
of course, yeah, that's obviously
all of a sudden that catapults itself
like
into like
quarters. It's just like,
oh my god, that's
lockdown quarters. That I'd entertain that 100%. I would entertain.
Yeah.
But let's see if that happens. Let's see if that happens.
You know they're trying. You know what's happening there is they're trying to hopscotch the Vikings.
Yeah, no, of course. So, like I said, this is just a rumor that I saw. I don't know how legitimate it is, but don't be surprised if come draft day that
I just read
Broncos move up and Patrick Surtain is part of that trade. So I
just read a reputable story that Washington tried to trade up to number 1. So I'm believing anything at this point.
Okay, hey, yeah, this is the time for it. All right, let's get to some more questions.
All right. So speaking of number 1, who was the first overall pick in the 2005 NFL draft?
Alex Smith, right? I'm going to go with Alex Smith.
Very good. Good job. Next question. Did you actually think that was the question?
I really didn't think so. That's all. I was like, you've got to be joking. This is the question. Oh my god! It was any other year, it would have been like, okay, you might get me there. But
I will be real. I will be real. My biggest fear of that joke was, what if he gets it wrong? I was like, dear God, I hope he knows this. Now, okay, this is the real question, because I looked back on that draft and I was shocked. That draft overall was pretty solid, but that top 10 was loaded, man. So your real question is this. Alex Smith was selected first overall in the 2005 NFL draft. Name 2 of the next 5 picks after him. And their team. 2 of the next 5 picks and the team they went to.
I got this one. Braylon Edwards going to Cleveland.
Damn it.
Cedric Benson going to Chicago.
Damn it.
Also, you got God, who's the I'm forgetting on never mind. I'm not gonna say that one then. But I was like, there's a running back that was drafted by Miami. You got Cadillac Williams that went to Tampa Bay.
There was a running back to Miami.
Ronnie Brown. That's it.
Ronnie Brown. Yes, it was.
That's it. Yep. I was like, Roddy who? Yeah, Roddy Brown went to Miami there. So yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, sorry. I knew that one. I knew that draft class pretty well because that was obviously Alex Smith draft year. Niners had the number 1 overall pick. I was looking at a lot of those draft picks, and so yeah, that one I actually knew pretty well.
Well played, my friend. It was Ronnie Brown to the Dolphins. Yep. Braylon Edwards to the Browns, Cedric Benson to the Bears, Cadillac Williams to the Bucks, and then the 6th overall pick was Pac-Man Jones. Pac-Man Jones to the Tennessee Titans. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Did I get the entire top 5 then? I didn't realize that.
I don't think you mentioned. Oh, you got the entire top 5, yeah. Because Pac-Man.
Yeah, Jones I said Cadillac Williams to the Bucks too. Yeah. So okay, wow. Okay,
that was nice. Like I said, that was a loaded top 10.
That was a very good one.
Damn, that was impressive. I really thought I would get you that one. Damn it! Yeah. I had the whole setup and everything. Fuck you.
Fun fact: that's the same draft class as Frank Gore.
It was because I tried to sneak in a Frank Gore question. I'm like, I'm not gonna get one past him.
Going in the 3rd round out of a school that surprisingly I'm learning has been so good in the past, the University of Miami. So.
I wanted to like form some type of like Willis McGahee, like how many running backs in that committee win, but that committee is so famous for being ridiculously good between McGahee, Portis. There's one other one I'm forgetting in there that like was amazing. I was like, I'm not even gonna touch that. But all right, let's get to our last short answer question.
Yeah.
You better get this one. And, oh, shoot. I forgot to give you. All right. So you're currently sitting at 18.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I will give you, this is a potential 2-point question.
2-point question. All
because I feel like this is the softest of the softballs.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
This is for point number 1.
Okay.
What round was Joe Montana drafted in?
3rd round.
Okay. So you're now 19. What year was Joe Montana drafted in?
19. I don't think it was 79. Was it 79? Was it 79 or 80? That's the part that I'm like, God damn it. I think it was 1980. It was 79, wasn't it?
It was 79.
God damn it! Shoot! That was so close.
Now, here's a fun fact, by the way. He was, technically speaking, the last pick of the 3rd round in 1979. However, the 49ers did not hold the last pick of the 3rd round in 1979. The Pittsburgh Steelers, and I found this so funny because nowadays people are like, football's getting soft. When do we change all these rules? The Pittsburgh Steelers held the last pick of the 3rd round in 1979. However, they had to forfeit it because they held extra unpadded practices without the NFL's permission. In 1979.
Back in the day, they were doing that. That's crazy. Okay.
So they had to forfeit that pick. So therefore, Joe Montana out of Notre Dame ended up being the last pick of the 3rd round.
That is interesting. Yeah, that goes way back then that they were doing too many unpadded practices.
I thought that was so funny. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, we're soft now, but okay. All right. We're a little bit long on time. So let's just get right into the estimation question. So to let people know, if Amir gets this exact, so he's currently sitting at 19 points. He needs 15 to tie me, 16 to beat me. If he gets this question exactly right, he gets 20 points, instant win. If he gets within 2 of the correct number, he gets 10 points. 3, 7 points. Within 4, 5 points. Within 5 of the correct number, he gets 3 points. Within 6 of the correct number, he gets 1 point. Are you ready, Mer?
Let's do it.
All right. Caleb Williams in 2 weeks' time will be the first overall pick to the Chicago Bears. That is just all but decided at this point.
Pretty much. Yep.
How many first-round picks has USC had since 2000?
Since 2000.
Since 2000.
Okay. All right. This is going to be interesting because you obviously got the Bush and
Pete
the
Carroll
Liner and all those guys. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Got all those guys, and then you got a little bit of the recent history with your Drake Londons, and we're obviously not counting Caleb Williams, but just like you got a little bit of history there. So that's a good one. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of guys that I had no idea were first round picks that drafted out of USC on top.
And trust me, I will give you massive fans here. Well, not really massive. A lot of those late 2000 guys, like right before 2010, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember you.
Nice. Oh wait, I think both Khalil brothers were drafted out of USC, if I remember correctly. I think, right? I know one of them did. I don't know if both of them went to USC. So it's like you got those guys too.
They both went to
USC.
USC.
Both did. Okay, nice. So I think I'm just going to do, because I'm not 100% sure what the exact answer is. So I'm just going to do simple math here. So you're saying the last since 2000. So that's 23 drafts. So I'm going to say 1 per draft. And then let's maybe, one of those years probably add a couple. So I'm going to say 24.
24. I hate you.
Why? Because I use simple math.
You're within 2. It is 26.
Yes! 26. Okay, wow. Simple math pays off.
Now, I will tell you, you want to hear something funny? The guy that I was like, oh, yeah, this guy, I was looking through the research, Keith Rivers.
Oh, Keith Rivers. I remember him.
First round pick in 08. Now, it's funny because you can tell exactly like kind of the ebb and flow, exactly what you're talking about with USC was like 2000 to like 05, 06, like that lighter push year.
Right, yeah.
They usually average around 2 or 3 a year, but then they went on this crazy like 4-year streak where they had a couple second rounders, but no first rounders.
Yeah.
And then like 2010 to like 2018, they started like lighting it up again and throwing 2 or 3 more guys in there. So they kind of caught up, but 26 first round picks in the last decade or last 24 years in this century. It's ridiculous. Good for USC. All right, my friend, you're sitting at 29, which means you have 45 seconds.
Are you going to give you another shot?
Yeah, you gave me another shot. Only fair.
Well, you also have to remember the shot that I gave you was like, if you're confident that you can beat your previous number, then you'll get your new score. Otherwise, you get 0.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's see. Can you beat 11?
You're not going to trick me and use a different question, are you?
Nope. Same question.
Okay.
Name all the name. Your last number was 11. Well, because you used the same question on me last time, right?
I did. Yeah. That's what I said. Yeah, I gave you the same number, and I just wanted to make sure.
All is fair and war and love, and fuck you. All right, you ready?
Well, I haven't decided whether I could beat 11 or not, so that's why I'm just making sure whether I can or not. So, but yes, I think I can do it. I can do it. So
all right.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Sebastian Janikowski, Jake Moody, Roberto Aguayo, Billy Cundiff, Tyler Bass, Adam Vinatieri, Shane Graham, Chris Boswell, Will Lutz, Martin Gramatica, Bill Gramatica, Morton Anderson, Gary Anderson, Olindo Mare, Joe Nedney, some other kickers. Who's the guy in Justin Tucker, Jake Stover,
Time. My friend, congratulations. You have won it with a score of 41 if I'm doing my math correctly, but it's currently 11:30 my time, so that is very possible. That is Incorrect. However, I can guarantee.
Double check the numbers after we're done.
I can guarantee you kicked my ass. So well done. And oh man, I thought I was being mean that episode, and you did fantastic there. So you should feel
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that I got some of those numbers, some of those questions correct, I guess I should say. And I think some of the ones that I second guessed myself, I think I was close. So it's like I feel pretty good about that as well. But yeah, I actually did better than I thought. So yeah, kudos to me, especially on draft.
Last thing I'll say is, did you say Jake Stover?
Yeah, it's Matt Stover, right?
It's Matt Stover.
Yeah, I realized that after I said, I was like, that's not right. It's Matt Stover. The only reason I remember the only reason I remember Matt Stover was because he had the infamous, like, he did this before he kicked.
Was he the Karate Kid?
It was so weird. Like, I don't know what it was, but like he'd line up his kick like this. And like, Sarah guy, you can look up a YouTube highlight of Matt Stover, kicks. I'm pretty sure there's a video out there on YouTube. But he'd do this, and then he'd actually go kick the field goal. Like, it was so weird, but that's the reason I remember Matt Stover specifically.
Apparently, Grammatica would scream like, "God help me! God, please let me make this," like on an extra point.
Well, yeah. Also, Grammatica famously tore his Achilles ACL, or something like that as celebrating a field goal, whatever. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, that's the other reason why I remember the Grammatica brothers. So,
yeah. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna get you next time. Swear to God. All right. I'm gonna start research. We gotta end this episode so I can start my research.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But I mean, guys, we have both done trivia. Like we said, we're trying to get some of our good friends at LAFB Network, some of our, good friends just in real life, like your friends, my friends. We're going to get some more people to do some trivia. Like, I mean, it may be draft related, may not be. I mean, it will be football related for sure. So, I mean, check out for those future episodes, definitely in the off season when we're a little bit drier on content. But we have a lot of fun with these episodes. So, I mean, guys, make sure you're tuned in for those future episodes. As you see it down below, follow us on all our social media handles. We're dropping all of our graphics for the NFL draft, all of our position graphics. That's the best way you can find all of our graphics is on our social media handles. You got me at Of The Side 23. You got Tad Side 94. Got the show handle at The Side Guys, and of course on Instagram at The Side Guys as well. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast where you listen to your podcast. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And guys, please support our parent network at LAFB Network. They give you a lot of great content when it comes to the Rams and the Chargers at the NFL level. We're talking about that potential trade with the Chargers and Patrick Surtain. Who knows? Maybe you'll see an article in the future on LAFB Network about something that could be worked out there. So, I mean, they're going to be a lot of great content there. And, of course, on the college level with the Trojans, we're talking about USC all this episode. Not as much UCLA, but we covered the Bruins as well on LAFB Network. So give them support, because without them, there would be no us. We wouldn't be able to do a fun trivia episode without them for sure. But, guys, to everybody who's already interacted with us on social media, who's listening to the podcast, who's watching our videos, who's participating in our trivia as we're doing along. I mean, it's a lot of fun that we do it, but I'm pretty sure you're playing along when you're listening on the radio or wherever you're listening to it. So appreciate you guys. It just, to everybody and anybody who's supporting us in every way that you can, we can't thank you enough.
And like Emir said, if you want to play along, keep track of your score. No cheating, honor system here, people. But if you want to send in your scores, do it. We'd love to play along with you. We'd love to see, hey, did you beat both hosts? Awesome. Yeah. That means you deserve your own podcast, basically. It's the, what is it, transition? What is it in college? The transition property or something like that?
Transitive property.
Transitive, thank you. It's a math term, of course. I don't know it. Exactly. But exactly that. Hey, I beat these podcast hosts, so therefore I deserve my own podcast. But point being is, it's so much fun to play along, so definitely do that. We have more awesome draft content. This is kind of our last kind of what I call a vacation episode, right before we ramp it up with draft content. I know we've been releasing all of our position rankings lately, and in case you're wondering, like, okay, I'm happy you guys are doing offense. Where are my tacklers? Where are my sack getters? Where is that coming from? Well, guess what? Our very next episode is going to be our edge rusher / D line rankings coming out. And then we're coming out with more rankings on our social media that you can find, once again, right below. If you're watching on YouTube, and if you're like, hey, look, I don't want to read anything, even if it's an infographic, which, by the way, Amur is making it look great. Well, great. All you need to do is then listen to the episodes, and we will give you our full breakdown on the defensive side of the ball over the next 2 weeks. So keep on tuning in for that. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And please stay safe, everyone.